and we are talking about the book summary of Life's Greatest Lessons by Hal Urban. So if you want to find about life's greatest lessons that would make your life meaningful while reaching success, then please keep on reading. By reading this summary, you will discover how to add more color to your life, leading to a more fulfilled way of living. So stick with me till the end, and without any further ado, let's start with the summary of Life's Greatest Lessons by Hal Urban. Introduction. Many people say that experience is our best teacher. Whether we fail or succeed in doing something, in the end, we gain lessons from it. Life lessons can lead you to improve and become a better person in the future. Experience teaches us how to understand things from different perspectives of life, right? In learning from the most meaningful life lessons, it's important to know that you are not too young or too old to learn. Even a kid or an adult can discover the greatest life lessons, and it's not yet too late for them to find out. So, in this book, you will find out about the greatest lessons about life. And from those lessons and stories, you will be able to see the good in people and in life that you may have been overlooked. More than that, you will also see the greater potential within you. Yes, through reading this book, you will discover the inner resources you possess to become the best person you can be. So, let's begin with the first chapter. Success is more than making money. There are many common standards in the term success. But being successful in life is not determined by a person's possessions and money. This is a misconception that most of us have. It's not determined by money, neither by fame or age. Instead, being successful is about discovering what brings out the best in each individual. Yes, you heard it right. Often, money is viewed with misconception by people because they perceive it as either good or bad. However, being rich and happy with money is not evil, but the greatness that goes along with it is the reason for its misconception. Because of society's view that wealth equates to success, many are trying to become instant millionaires through different opportunities. Still, the truth is that money is not the main determining factor towards being successful. In the 1980s, stories of people who became millionaires and billionaires had been spread and broadcasted through different platforms. One of those stories is about Ivan Boesky, one of the financial masters of that period. Back then, Ivan used to tell people that money is equal to success. But months before that, he was sent to prison. Aside from him, lots of companies in the corporate world are also blinded by money. Enron, the leading company by that time, was ruined because of how it reached the top. In the end, all those people and companies who are greedy and just chasing money ended up losing their jobs, investors, employees, and even their insurances. Because most people believe that money is everything it takes to succeed, most are risking their health, relationships, and time to join the race. The greediness for money often negatively affects their lifestyle. According to Tom Peter Group's interview with thousands of business executives, almost half of them still feel empty, and 68% answered that they prioritize their jobs over their family. The people's greed for money will make them lose themselves, their happiness, and things they deem necessary. Being wealthy is not the main factor and limit of success. In knowing what it truly means to be successful, you must first remember that you do not always have to be top. Often, all you need is to give your best at everything you do. Instead of looking for money and be greedy, you should have to look deep within yourself first. In doing so, you will see your hidden capabilities and resources that would help you succeed. More than that, you will also find out the true happiness that money cannot give. And from here, moving on to the next chapter, life is hard and not always fair. You know what, guys? You must have heard it before, but life is a series of experiences where one will undergo different feelings such as happiness and pain. But of course, most of us would choose the idealistic way of living where pain and suffering are not present. However, we should realize that this is not possible. And the reality is that life is hard. Along our life journey, we will be faced with challenges that would put us to the test. Surely we can complain about the unfairness and struggles that we might experience. But having the courage to overcome and face those problems is a choice we can make. Hal Urban, the author of this book, once had a freshman student that he happened to teach before. As a teacher in the world studies classes, Hal gave his students some challenging assignments to make them think and work. Not long after he gave it, the student complained about how hard the homework was. Hal then simply told him that life is really difficult, and that is just how it is. After some time, Hal was able to meet that student again. During their encounter, the student said that he was grateful for what Hal has taught him. By understanding that life is hard, the student could go through his problems and became a stronger version of himself. So the thing is, when we begin to accept that life is hard, it will be easier for us to overcome those challenges and embrace growth. Additionally, we will also begin to see every struggle as an opportunity for us to stand again and be a greater version of ourselves. Aside from accepting that life is tough, we should also note that life is not always fair. Good things will not always happen to you as well as to other people. Sometimes it happens when we least expect it, right? But despite the unfairness that we are experiencing on a daily basis, one thing is for sure. And what it is? That we are not alone in living the harsh reality of life. Everybody is going through it. You agree with me? So although life is hard and unfair at times, it doesn't mean that it's not worth living and rewarding. In fact, at the end of the day, it's up to us how we will live life to the fullest despite the circumstances. And next up we have, we live by choice, not by chance. So guys, every person born in this world was given free will to choose what to do with their lives. While some may argue that we did not choose to live, still, the power on how we decide to live after being born lies on us. In every situation and event, we are given the freedom to choose our responses to overcome the challenges and struggles that may arise. In life, many people do not realize that the greatest power we possess is the freedom to choose. From the moment we wake up, we are making countless choices. These choices we make every day shape our lives. Even we often don't notice them. In one of Hal's classes during his college years, when he used to attend a philosophy class in a Jesuit school, they were always challenged to think about our daily existence in the world. Usually, they were also tasked to do paperwork about the meaning of life and God. Aside from those, some debates also frequently happened in their class. One day, Hal and his classmates were asked to debate about the existence of God. One student from their class asked their teacher that if there is really God, why is he letting people suffer from circumstances and pain? Why is he not letting all people living in this world experience pure happiness instead of despair and sadness? So after that question came up, the teacher said that if God will remove all the pain and struggles that we experience on a daily basis, we would be nothing but robots. If there will be no suffering and challenges, we would never know the real feeling of happiness and success. This is the reason why God created the people this way. He wants us to find our purpose despite the challenges that we may encounter. Moreover, He also wanted to know how we will use the freedom He gave to us, the power to choose how we will live life to the fullest despite the presence of despair. In life, we encounter lots of people complaining about bad luck, bad people, or bad circumstances that happen to them. Often they do not realize that they are blaming what they cannot control anymore. Instead of focusing on those things which have already happened to them, we should learn to look at ourselves. In the end, it's only we who have the power to choose how to respond to every situation and event that is happening to us. By using our freedom to choose, we can determine our life's path. The freedom to choose our character, values, beliefs, attitude, and purpose can greatly affect our way of living. In exercising our choices and doing what is right, we mold ourselves into independent and good products of our free will.